everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. So today I'm here at the United Motors showroom, who are the dealers for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, also Fiat and Alfa Romeo as well, to take a look at the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. So it has been newly introduced for the 2022 model year, and I'll be going through all its features, the little Easter eggs that usually Jeep puts in their cars, and any other things that you need to know about the car as well. So I'll be going through all of that, and I just wanted to say, if you're new to the channel, do help me out by subscribing, and also do turn on the notifications so that you will be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. So now let's get inside and take a look at the car. So alright guys, here it is, the 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. So first let's start by showing the key. So this is the new key that Jeep have designed. And it's a nice chunky piece. You have the Jeep logo in the middle, you have your lock, unlock, remote start, and you have your button to open the tailgate, and also a panic button. So that's all in the new key. And now let's talk about the SUV itself. So first things first, the original Jeep Grand Cherokee was launched back, I think, in 1993. I'm not sure though, but it was launched to replace the Grand Wagoneer as the midsize SUV, and since then it has been a very popular choice for people from the Jeep brand, alongside the Wrangler as well. But the Grand Cherokee has been selling pretty well, and after that the new redesign which we see here, this particular model, has been around for around like 10 years or so a pretty long time, and now they have finally redesigned it. So for now, currently the 2021 model will be going on with this design, and they have only launched the Grand Cherokee L, but later on, as a 2022 model year, there will be a Grand Cherokee, the standard 5-seater, with the same design refresh as this. So now let's talk about the design. The biggest change is at the front. So you can see over here, when compared to the older design, this is a much squarer look, and it looks a lot wider than the previous car. You have the iconic Jeep slats on the grille, and compared to the last year's model, this is a bit narrower and wider as well, and it makes the car look aggressive, sporty, and pretty wide as well. Then we have the headlights. So they are all LED with the reflector style headlights instead of the projector style, and these are your LED DRLs. So they are amber color instead of the white, and something I like a lot. And those DRLs also act as your indicators. Then here below you have your LED fog lights, and you have some design on the bumper, which is just hexagon design that mimics the grille over here, which you can see clearly. Now this particular model is the limited. So you have around 5 trim levels. You have the Laredo, you have the Limited, you have the Overland, then you have Summit and Summit Reserve. The Summit and Summit Reserve are basically the most luxurious versions of the Grand Cherokee you can get. So the Limited is kind of the sweet spot, or the middle ground between all the trim levels. You get most of the equipment you might need, and there are some optional extras which you can get for it. And since we talked about this front part, let's take a look at the lower bumper. Now if you go for the Overland trim, you have a different design, since that has a bumper which is a bit higher up, just to aid for better approach and departure angles. And that's the same case at the back as well. The Overland has a shorter rear bumper. And then for the Limited variant, you have this nice chrome strip that runs around the lower bumper, which looks nice and tasteful. Also the chrome design over here on the lower part of the grille looks really nice and tasteful. I have seen a variant called the Laredo Altitude, I believe, which was in black, all black. I'll just put up the photo for you guys. Personally, I did like that a lot, but I do not mind the chrome on this as well. Then on the hood, the design has also changed. So on that one, you can see it had an indentation in the middle, and then the whole hood was flat. So here you can see the whole hood is flat over here with some, and then it plateaus down from here. And overall, it's a nice smart design at the front, and it's more of an evolution more than a revolution. And most of the design has been inspired by the Grand Wagoneer concept. And I think this is a nice direction Jeep is heading into for the new design language. Now let's take a look at the side design of the car. So here you can see the length of the car which shows up due to this being an L model. So the L is basically the three-seater variant of the standard 5-seater Grand Cherokee. And like I said, for the next year, the new redesigned Grand Cherokee will be having the same design, but only with 5 seats. So if you have more members of the family, you can go for this. If you don't need that many seats, you can go for the standard Grand Cherokee. So on the side for this Limited model, the arches here are in black plastic, If you go for the overland and above, these are body colored. I would have loved to see a body colored as an option for the limited, but I don't think they have that, but it would have looked really nice. Then you have your side marker lights here and these wheels, and these are 265 section tires with a 50 series sidewall and 20-inch rims, so they look pretty good. And you have pretty huge disc brakes at the back as well. And here you can see the suspension system at the back. So this has the standard hydraulic suspension. It does not have the air suspension. I believe the air suspension you do get from overland and above. It's not even available as an option. I did check on the configurator as well. Then the side mirrors or the side profile of the car is one of my favorites. So I hope you can just see it clearly. I do not have a lot of space to show that to you, but this is how the side profile of the car looks, and I do like it a lot. So again, you have a nice strong character line which flows all the way to the rear, and one pretty nice touch which I'll show you later on, it's around the window line, and I'll show it to you. So here you have your Grand Cherokee badge at the bottom, like all the Grand Cherokees usually have. Now interestingly, in some of the reviews from the from US, I've seen they have the US badge over here, or flag, sorry, but on this model I am not seeing it for some reason. Maybe you don't get it on the limited, you only get it on the overland and above. I'm not sure though. Then again, you have the same black plastic that flows around the bottom and it continues to the rear. So the arches are nice and square shaped, and it gives it a nice muscular look. And the door handles are obviously body colored, and you have your this one does not have the full 4-touch entry system, only on the driver and passenger side. On the Summit and Summit Reserve, you do get it on the rear passenger side as well. And then on the window line, there's a nice small Easter egg. I hope I can show it to you clearly. Maybe I'll show it to you later on from the inside, but I hope you can just see that over there. It's just visible for a little bit. Then the rear tires are basically the same size as the front, so no change here. Here you can see the side mirror. It's in black. And that's the new feature which I wanted to talk about, is this chrome trim which starts from here. It goes all the way around the window line, and then it wraps around the back over here, and then it flows again into the other side over here pretty nicely. So this is one design feature which I liked a lot. And another Easter egg on this window line is over here. At least this is visible clearly. So it's an old Jeep that's climbing up. So pretty nice touches. And Jeep is basically, the FCA products are known for their small Easter eggs hidden here and there. So now let's talk about the rear design. So again, the rear is pretty nicely designed compared to the older generation, or the previous generation. You can just take a look over there. So that did have a bit bigger tail lights and a chunkier rear bumper, but here you can see they have slimmed down the LED tail lights with just a small LED strip up top. These are your indicators, and these are your reverse lights. Overall pretty nice and strong look. Up top you have a nice small roof spoiler, and you have your windscreen wiper here. Okay, I would have loved it if they hid the rear screen wiper over here, and it would have made it for a nice clean design overall, but they haven't done that. Then you have your L badge here, which signifies that this is a 3-row. Then you have your 4x4 badge. As standard, it comes as a rear wheel drive car, but here you have it as the 4-wheel drive. You can get it as an option. And you have your limited badge here. So any variant you go for, the badge will be on this side. Then other than that, we don't have anything new. Then we come to the lower end of the rear bumper. So you have some reflectors here. You have a fake vent design here, which looks nice and tasteful. Again, you have your chrome strip here, and you have your black plastic rear bumper. Now again, if you go for the overland and overland and above in terms of trim, this is in body color, but for the limited, this is in black plastic. Then this part of the bumper is actually removable. So if you remove that, you have that tow hitch just hidden behind this compartment. So when you're not using it, it usually looks pretty ugly. But when you're not using it, you can just cover it up and it looks pretty nice and cohesive. Since we are already at the back, let's take a look at the rear boot space. So let me just open this up. Okay, for some reason it's not opening up. Okay, so I couldn't show the opening of the boot, but it's electrically operated. Now since this is a brand new car here at the showroom, unfortunately it's not fully set up for the dealership to showcase all the features. I cannot control the boot via the key fob, so there's a lot of issues going on. Also, I cannot open the boot by pressing the button up top. so I can only open it via the button inside. But since this is like somebody has to come from the US to set up the car, so it will be taking some time due to the current pandemic situations going on. But that aside, let's take a look at the boot space now. So here you can take a look at the boot space. Since this is the 7-seater, these are your 7 seats down here and here. Now one thing, I'll just put up all the numbers for you guys about the boot volume. So I'll put up the number for the space behind the third row, then the space behind the second row, and then the total space when you fold down the second row as well. So it's a lot of space, you won't have any issues with that. Then there are some features back here. So you have your speakers here, and you have your 12-volt socket here, you have some tow hooks here, you also have some tethering points, and you also have some storage space here. I hope I can show it to you properly. Currently it's just filled up with plastic since this is a very brand new car. And then I'll show you how the rear seats, you can fold them down. So you can use this latch here to pull this up, and then you can just put up the headrest like this. But when you want to fold them down, you just pull this first and the headrest goes down, and then you can just push this all the way to the bottom. And you can see when you fold down the third row seats, it's a nice flat bay, so you can easily push all your items to the end, and there won't be a proper ridge which you know, sometimes disrupts the flow of the pattern, and it makes you arrange the luggage in a weird way. So that's not there, so pretty cool. And here you have your button to close the tailgate. Now usually you do see it over here, but for some reason FCA products have it on this side, but I think that's a small thing to do. And now let's take a look at what's powering this Jeep Grand Cherokee. So here it is, the engine bay of the Grand Cherokee L. So you have the same engine options as last year or the previous gen. So this one is the 3.6 liter V6. It's naturally aspirated, and I'll show you all the power figures which are right here. So you can see it has 293 horsepower with 352 Newton meters of torque. You have the 8-speed automatic transmission, and you can see the 4-wheel drive system is called Quadra Track 1. So I think there might be a 2 or 3 also. Then you have the dimensions here, all the features you can see which this particular car has. And also, since this is the V6 model, you also have the 5.7 liter V8 as an option, which produces 360 horsepower and around 500. I'm not sure how much the ending number is, but I'll put it down for you guys. But I do know in pound-feet of torque, that's 390. So one thing the V8 is good for is actually the towing, because the V8 is stronger engine, so you have more towing capabilities. And it's you should go for the V8 only if you know that you will be towing a lot. Other than that, you don't have any other advantages with the V8. It's not very fast since it's not the 6.4 liter Hemi, but it has a decent amount of go. And the best option for most of the people will be this V6, because it's much more fuel efficient than the V8 as well. So most of the people will be going for that. Then there's a small Easter egg, though I don't know what that is. If you guys know that, do let me know in the comments below. So now let's take a look at the interior space. One thing I forgot to show you is the price of this car. So this one currently, with all the registration and all that stuff, is sitting at 227,811 reals. So I will convert that to dollars for you guys. So most of the people have seen, or any other reviews of the particular Jeep Grand Cherokee L, they say that the limited is the sweet spot for most of the, or the whole lineup. Only if you know that you will be needing that much luxury from the Summit and Summit Reserve, you should go for that. But most of the people will be happy with the limited, and I think this will be the trim which sells the most as well. So now let's take a look at the interior. So before we head to the interior, I just want to say, do subscribe to the channel and help me out with reaching 10,000 subscribers. That's my current goal right now. It's free for you guys, but it does help my channel out a lot. So do consider subscribing. And now let's take a look at the interior. Okay, so let's take a look at the door trim now. So the door trim up top, you have nice soft touch materials. And they don't feel cheap, so pretty good quality from Jeep. Then you have your faux wood here. So at first glance you might not be able to tell that this is real wood, but on closer inspection, especially when you touch it, you will know that it is fake wood. But it's pretty convincing. If you want real wood, you'll get it on the Summit and Summit Reserve trims. So all the high spec or high luxury options are saved for those trims. Then you have a nice silver door handle with your memory seating controls. It's two-way, and you have that silver trim which goes over here as well. Then you have leather over here. So now you get beige leather with and a black leather trim. So only 2 color options, and the limited variant gets capri leather, so it's standard leather material. But if you go for the Summit and Summit Reserve, you do get a higher end version or a higher end trim of leather and softer leather also. So just even in this standard leather, it is pretty nice and soft. So you have some door storage, you have your window controls and side mirror controls. Now these are not foldable side mirrors though. If you want foldable side mirrors, you'll again have to step up to the overland and above. Then we come to the bottom, you have the same soft touch material and it's pretty nice quality, and you have some storage space down below, and it's a pretty decent size, and you have an Alpine speaker system over here. Then let's take a look at the seat itself. So the seat over here you can see is again in that same beige leather with the white stitching all over, and these are, I believe, ventilated seats. We'll take a look at it in later. So it's nice and soft to the touch. So one disadvantage with the beige leather is it does get dirty pretty fast. So you can see it's already been dirtied over here, but you'll have to just be careful with it if you go for this color option. Then you have the electric seats. So you have height adjustability, you have your backrest adjustable, and you have your 4-way lumbar adjustment, and you have some controls here which I'll show you before sitting inside. So you have your headlight controls here, and you have your controls for your lights here, or basically interior lighting. You have your handbrake here, electronic, and this is your catch to open the hood. Other than that, there's nothing else. You don't have any side sills which have the Jeep logo and all that stuff. So pretty basic. So now let's get inside. Okay, so before, one more thing. This is the fuel economy of this particular variant. So this one, again, like I told you, this has the 3.5 liter V6, and this is where the advantage of the V6 is. So you can see it comes into the good sector with the 11.5 kilometer per liter. So that's pretty nice. If you go for the V8, obviously that will drop down, and that's the disadvantage with the 8-cylinder variant. So now let's head inside and take a look at the interior. Okay guys, so I am in the interior of the Grand Cherokee L, and first things that greet you are this nice 10-inch digital display for the driver and a 10.1-inch digital display for your infotainment. Now one thing I want to tell you about this particular display is I told you that this car has not been currently properly set up for all its functions to be working, and for that there has to be someone or representative that will be coming from the US to set all this up. And currently, due to all the pandemic stuff going on, this is he was not able to come, I believe. So it will take some time for him to come, and because of that the center screen is not working. But I will show you all the basic features that are available via another video. But for now the center screen is not working, so let's just take a look at the other interior features. Okay, so let's start with the dashboard quality. So you have nice soft touch material here with your white color stitching, which looks pretty nice. You don't get a heads up display, you'll get that in overland and above in terms of the trim. Then you have a leatherette material over here, again with that same white stitching. So the whole interior design was changed for this new 2022 model year, and to be honest, I do like this design change a lot more than the older generation. It looks a lot more modern, and in terms of, I think it just suits the character of the SUV a lot more. It just looks a lot more luxurious as well. Also the center screen, it doesn't look like it has been tacked on, like taken an iPad and just stuck on, but instead it looks like it's a nice integrated part of the center console as well. So now let's take a look at other interior design features. So also on the side, this silver trim which was on the door, you can see it continues all the way from the bottom and continues to the end as well. So pretty good. And you have your AC vents in the center and there as well, and I like it how they have designed them to be or look slim. So it looks pretty nice. Then let's come to the steering wheel. So the steering wheel has also been redesigned, and I do like the look of it a lot. You have that same faux wood trim on the center, or actually it continues from here. It looks pretty nice. You have the silver trim which flows all the way around, and again looks pretty nice. You have your center Jeep logo. Then you have your cruise control settings here, and you have your settings to control the menu from here. And you have some small paddle shifters. I hope I can show it to you correctly. So they are just the top paddle shifters over here, and you have your controls for your volume and radio control for on the other side. Here you have your indicators, and these are your wiper controls. Now the steering wheel is actually in a manual steering wheel. This is not a fully electric variant, so you can get that as an option, or I think it's only available on the Overland and above, but it's manual. So now let's take a look at the center display. So the center display is new for this model year, and you can see you have a lot of information. So this is your assistant system. Then you can go down to your vehicle information, and even in the vehicle information you have a lot of stuff like your average MPG, your temperatures, you have your what is that, oil life, then tire pressure, and this is something stop start system. Then you can go down to your trip info, trip A, trip B. Then you can check your off-road stuff over here. So you have controls for your four-wheel drive, so auto, automatic full, then automatic full time four-wheel drive. Then actually it's basically just an explanation for what auto means. Then you have your vehicle dynamics, and this is all your roll and pitch control over here. Then we can go down and we have your audio and messages and settings. So that's all. And I think if I press if you want to take a look at just the tachometer and the speedometer, you can take a look at that. But if I press and hold OK, you see it changes to this display. But I do like the physical dials or this design of the dial a lot more. Then what else do we have? So let's come to the center console now. Okay, one more thing, this is your start stop button here, and on the side here this part is actually again hard plastic, but I think if you go for the higher trim levels, this is wrapped in leather. But it's soft enough that even if my knee, when it touches against it, I don't feel any problem with that. It's pretty comfortable to rest my knee over there. So now let's talk about the center console, and up top you have some buttons. So this is to control your start stop, then this is for your lane departure, traction control, hazards. These are your parking sensors, and you have two blank buttons here, so you can turn off your parking sensors from that. Then again, I told you this screen currently does not work, but you have the latest Uconnect 5 system with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well, and also you can, that also is used as your screen for your backup camera and surround view camera as well. This particular car has the backup camera but not the surround view camera, but the surround view camera is also available as an option. So now let's take a look at the buttons below the screen. So here you have your mute button, volume control, and this is to turn on and off your radio. You have your heated seats and ventilated seats. You have your heated steering wheel, same for the passenger side. Then this is to control your fan speed. You have your tuning knob, and this is to turn off your screen. Now I know I did try that, but it doesn't work. It's totally shut down. You can see it shows the instruction that the person will have to do. He'll have to remove a lot of stuff to get to that or turn it on. Then you have some more climate control settings here, and then down below, let me just turn on the flash for you guys. So down below you have two USB-Cs, two USB-A, an auxiliary port, and also a 12-volt socket. And down below you have some more storage space. Now if you want, you can get an wireless charger as well. Then we come here. So here you have your control for your drive modes. So I hope I can show you the animation for it. So sport, auto, snow, and sand and mud. And I believe if you go for that Quadratec 2 all-wheel drive system, you do get a rock mode as well. And this is your driving, or basically your gear selector. So you can see reverse, the sensors are on. You have your neutral, drive. So pretty nice overall. Okay, so this part over here which you see, currently it's blank, but if you go for the Overland and Summit and above, which have the air suspension, this same type of control is also here, and you can control the level of the air suspension by the switch over there. But this one has the standard suspension, so you don't get that option. Then you have your cup holders, and they are not closable, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so the cup holders are not closable though, they're just open as well. But I believe on the other trims like the Summit and all that trims, you get a closable lid for the cup holders as well. Then we come to the rear armrest. So first, the armrest is pretty nice and soft, and you can just take a look at this is the parcel shelf over here. Let me just turn on the flashlight again. So this is a small shelf lined with felt where you can keep your change and stuff. But if you want more storage, you can then use another clip here and you can open up to see the more space that you have here. Now one nice or small detail here is, I hope I can show it to you clearly, you can see you have that Jeep grille over here which shows up. You have the slats for that, so another small Easter egg. Then we have your glove box, pretty decent size. Then you have your visors. Again, it's a cloth material. I think on the Summit Overland you do get it as an leather material. Then you have your microphone up top on two sides, so just so that you can talk to the rear passengers. And then you have your light controls up top here. You can turn on the lights, and you can turn on all of them via this button, I believe. Then this is to open your sunroof. So you can see we have a nice panoramic sunroof which goes all the way. So you can control your blinds by this, you can control the tilt option by this, and if you want to open the sunroof you can use this button. So overall, and this is also your button for opening the tailgate, and also you have your sunglasses holder as well. And this is your rear view mirror. Now this one does not have the clear side, I believe. Yeah, this one does not have the clear side rear view mirror. So basically what that means is you get a camera view from this screen if basically your mirror is being blocked. But you can see you do have a decent amount of view out the back from here. I hope I can show that to you clearly. Okay, one more thing I forgot to show you in the front seats though is the space I have. Now I have the seat set to its lowest position, and also I'm not too far back. I'm a bit in the front, but you can see I have an okay amount of headroom. I am 6'5" or 195 centimeters by the way, so it's an okay amount of headroom. And the seats are also pretty comfortable, and I like the way they hold, or how comfortable they are in terms of seating. So pretty good. And now let's take a look at the back seat. So here we are at the rear seat of the Grand Cherokee L. So now let's take a look at the door trim, and it's similar to the front. So you have your nice soft touch material here. You have faux wood, the same leather material, and you have your storage space, window controls, and a lot more storage space at the bottom as well. You have your speaker grills here also. But one thing that's missing is the privacy shade, which you do get on the other models. It's also available on the Limited as an option though, but this model does not have that. Then we come to the rear seats. So the rear seats, you can see, are the same, almost the same as the front, but you have some controls here. So this is to totally fold the rear seats flat so that you get more space from the back. So just to haul more cargo. Then you have a latch here which allows you to get into the rear seat or to the 7 seats, which I'll show that to you later. But now let's just jump inside and we'll take a look at the space. Okay, so I am in the interior of the Jeep, or rear seat of the Jeep Grand Cherokee L, and so you can see my knees are currently touching the seat in the front. Now the front seats are in my driving position. I am 6'5" or 195, like I told you. 195 centimeter, but I cannot sit directly behind me, or I can sit, but it's not that comfortable. I do not have a lot of knee room. People below 6'4" should be fine. They won't have a problem with that. Headroom is pretty good though, not good actually for me. My head touches the roof at the bottom or at the top, even though I think even if I remove the cap, my head will be touching. So that's a disadvantage of having the panoramic sunroof. This just brings down the roof line and it touches my head because of that. So pretty tight for me, but people below 6'4" should be fine. Then let's take a look at the other features. So you have the lights here. Currently it's off. Then you have your climate control at the back as well. So it's just a 3-zone climate control. On the higher end variants you do get a 4-zone. So you have your temperature controls, heated seats for both the sides. This is your fan control, and other than that nothing else. So these are your vents, and you have again 2 more USB-Cs, 2 USB-As, and another 12-volt socket, I think. No, it's a home adapter by the way. I hope I can show that to you clearly. There we go. So that is the home adapter. Then actually, so this one has the bench seat option. You can get a captain's chair as well, so you have one on each side. The middle place is totally open, and if you do get that, then this center part is actually takes place, or this part is taken by the cup holders and some more storage space over here, only if you go for the captain's chair. But since this is the bench seat, the cup holders are here on the armrest, and the armrest is nice and soft. You can just see that. so it's pretty nice. Overall, it's pretty good. You have your you have some more air vents up top over here or on the A pillar, and this is how the roof comes till here, and that's all there is. Also, one more thing at the back, I hope you can see that. So that's a camera, and that system is the same as in the Pacifica minivan. So it's basically if you turn that on the center screen, it shows you a nice display of these seats and the seats at the back as well. So basically you can if you have a rear facing child seat, so you can use that camera to keep an eye on them. So pretty good. And now I think we'll take a look at the rear seats. Okay, so to go into the rear seats, these seats, actually the second row seats, have to be pushed all the way back. Only then this latch works. So you have to pull this latch, and you can see it moves all the way to the front and slides up. So it's it opens a nice amount of space for you to go inside. And I don't think I'll attempt it though, because it might not be comfortable for me to get inside. I'm a huge guy and I don't want to injure myself and damage the car as well. But one thing I wanted to show you from here are the Easter eggs. So this is the L model, or the outline of the L model, and this is the outline of the standard Grand Cherokee. Again, for some reason it's not focusing, but you do get an idea. There we go. This is the L and the standard Grand Cherokee. At the back though, you have an air vent for the rear passengers, and you have an armrest with some cup holders. But overall, that's all there is to show on the rear seats, and there's nothing else. Also, you do have some light controls for the rear passengers as well, or the third row passengers. So that's all there is to show. Okay guys, so that was the video on the Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Hope you enjoyed the video a lot. So I hope I could show you all the features of the car, but unfortunately the rear screen was turned off due to the car being in shipping mode, and also currently it's not being fully set up by the person who has to come from the US. So that's why I couldn't show all the features. But basically, other than that, I could show everything else in the car, and I think I do like the car a lot. I think if it was my personal choice, I do believe I would have gone for the limited as well with the V6. V8 might sound good, and I don't think I'm not the kind of guy that will be towing a lot of stuff. So I think the V6 does make a better or sensible option. Also, I think even though the color option is this red and silver trim, I think I would have gone for something like that has all black trim, which I'll just put up a photo how that looks, and I think that's my favorite choice in terms of the color for the Grand Cherokee. It just looks pretty mean in that color variant or color combination. So overall, I think compared to the competition like the Toyota Highlander, there's the Kia Telluride, Hyundai Palisade, Honda Pilot, compared to all that stuff, I think it does look a lot better in my opinion. Some of you might have a different opinion though, but I think also the interior design is a lot better, and in terms of the quality, I think it's on par with the competition as well. But one advantage that the Grand Cherokee L has, it covers a wide spectrum of audience. So you can go for the base variant, that's $40,000, or some $40,000 though. So that's like the Laredo trim. But if you want more luxury, you can just go for the higher end Summit Premium, and you can basically compete with the likes of BMW and Mercedes as well with that kind of interior quality that the Summit has especially. So that's all there was to show on the car. And if you did enjoy the video guys, do leave a like and comment down below as well. Do subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload my later videos. I do hope the Grand Wagoneer comes soon to the showroom as well, so I would like to take a look at that. Currently, I think out of all the Jeep variants that are available, I think I do like the Grand Cherokee L and the Grand Wagoneer a lot, because I do like the design, especially does the thing for me. I do like the design a lot. So thanks for watching guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.